Senate, the primary focus is how do I advance my political career? And that's what every vice president or most 99% of them think is how do I move up and get into the Oval Office from this resident that I'm in now? And that can be very dangerous in your administration too, because you're going, if you do something unpopular, you want your VP to be with you. And by unpopular, something that the left latches onto, like they always create these insane, fake, dramatic stories when it's typically something that's great for the country. You don't want a vice president that's going to distance himself from you, like Mike Pence, when he later said, Trump shouldn't have looked into the things that happened, although there were so many unique circumstances that should have been looked into. You don't want somebody like that. So I hope he calls Trump and communicates that, or that Trump has seen that clip.
I think them are all excellent points. I have to tell you, I want to show you this video right here. This is Dr. Ben Carson. He is very soft-spoken and very quiet, but he does have some qualities that I personally like, and I know Monique likes them too. Let's listen to this for just a second.
Now, Ben, I had a phone call last week. I had a phone call from a big British newspaper, big title with an international reach. And they said, now, come on, Nigel, you're close to Trump and Team Trump. Who's he going to pick as his VP candidate? And I said, look, I honestly don't know. The Mike Pence pick in 2016 struck me as being kind of out of left field. I'm just not sure who he's going to pick. And it was suggested to me that Ben Carson's name is rapidly rising up the list in horse racing terms of runners and riders, philosophically aligned, a loyalist, stayed in the administration right throughout Trump's term. So come on, Ben, is it going to be you?
I have no idea. But what I do know is that there's a deep bench. There's a lot of people to choose from, and that Donald Trump has very good political instincts. So I suspect it will be a very good pick.
That's one of the things I just love about this man. He just tells you like it is. He's kind of like a Trump himself. Hey, what do you think? You think, I don't know. It's just a great answer. It's simple, but it's on point. What? Any thoughts?
Yeah, he's a straight talker. He's more polite than Trump, but they share that straight talker characteristic. I love it. Can I share my screen really quickly?
Go right ahead.
Let's see here. I'd like to show the score of Doug Burgum. Let's take
Is it like a betting score as to whether or not he'd get in?
His rating on certain issues. I think you'll have to put it on screen. I shared it.
Oh, hang on. I see it right here. Okay, let me try that. There we go.
Yeah, so this is his rating on several issues. The Center for Education Reform, they don't give him too good of a rating. The Cato Institute gives him a 52. Guns, he's a 92. K through 12. I don't know how conservative the Center for Education Reform is, so I'm not so sure about that rating, but they give him a 33 there. Cannabis marijuana reform, 0. Normal gives him a 58. Is that all? I guess that's all of the issues that they're going to let
and just so I'm clear, this is Doug Burgum's rating, right? Yeah, there it is. Okay, ratings and endorsements. I got you. And of course, he's the sitting senator from North Dakota.
Governor, yeah.
I'm sorry, Governor. Thank you, Governor. Let me ask you this here. We're going to start landing the plane right here. Let me turn it over to you for a second, David. Would you care to make a prediction as to who you think is going to be Trump's VP pick?
Sure. There's 2 or 3 that I think are really up there. I would say that Ben Carson's probably 1 or 2. Do you mind pulling up that full list you had earlier? I thought that was
I don't mind it at all. Let me
reference tool.
There we go.
All right. So looking at this, I would say top 3 are J.D. Vance, Ben Carson, and Byron Donalds. And I don't want to put those in any particular order, but all of them would be, really valuable assets. Carson obviously is the most experienced. Byron Donalds, he's not too experienced in terms of he's been in Congress 2 terms now, but he's super MAGA. He's never went against Trump's agenda. His voting record is very strong. The last time I looked, it was very high.
Okay,
And,
just so I'm clear,
yeah.
your picks are Byron Donalds, Ben Carson, and who else would you pick?
J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance. Okay, and out of those 3, which one do you think brings home the gold medal for VP?
I think the person with the highest probability is Ben Carson.
Interesting. I didn't necessarily expect you to say that. I think that's interesting. I will say the only concern that I have about Byron Donalds, and I like him, so I want to be clear about that. I like him. He's just inexperienced. He's just young. I think that's the number one thing against him. I figured for someone like J.D. Vance, if Donald Trump wanted to pick his IG or his id, whatever the Freudian term is for that, he would pick someone like J.D. Vance. I think J.D. Vance is a mini Trump, if I can say it like that. That's just I think J.D. Vance is probably the closest aligned to Trump as far as ideology goes. I could be wrong. I think that would be interesting to see who picks out. But again, my pick is going to be Dr. Ben Carson, but it would definitely be like Donald Trump to just surprise us all. Obviously, he's going to disclose his pick at the convention, at the Republican convention, which is probably a very good idea. Keep the suspense building. Plus, it will take his trial out of the news because remember, he's going to be sentenced days in, I believe it's like July 6th, July, whatever. The beginning of July, he's going to be sentenced there at that crazy court under Judge Merchan. So if he waits a few days later at the convention, I guess providing he's not incarcerated, it would be great to kind of change the subject with a new VP candidate.
I mean, but then again, that would be an amazing like PR thing if he's on a jail video call, like he's or in prison, and he's like, "I'm here in this prison. I'm under this witch hunt, and I hereby nominate Ben Carson as my VP." That would go so viral. That would break the internet.
I agree. Before we shut it down here, I want to again, David, thank you for being my guest on today's program. It's definitely a pleasure to have you on the program. How can my viewers find your channel?
Great to join you, JR. You found some great clips and did a great job administering this. Just go to rhinostopper.com, sign up for my newsletter. You will get a free guide on how to research candidates so you know for sure you don't accidentally vote for a rhino, and then we'll stay in touch with my newsletter, rhinostopper.com.
Thanks again for being on the program. Folks, it's a pleasure. Appreciate you being with me today. Go ahead, if you're still with me, hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to like, subscribe, send this video to one of your indoctrinated friends, family members, whomever, so that they can make an informed decision for themselves. I always say, keep your mind free, never give up. Until next time, my friends, I am J.R. Dukes.